Okay, you do need a block for class this morning. You can use it to sit on if you'd like. We're just going to start with some breath work. So sit up nice and tall, root yourself down into your mat. If you'd like to take a mudra with your first finger and your thumb, glue the other 3 fingers together, palms up, you can. Or you can just rest your hands in your lap. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. Start to lengthen the breath and deepen the breath. Find that ujjayi pranayama, a deep ocean-sounding breath. With each exhale, settle yourself into your seat just a little bit more. With each inhale, lengthen the spine. Sit up nice and tall. Keep your belly engaged. Keep the pelvic floor engaged. 3 more breaths here. After those 3 breaths, you can blink your eyes open. Next inhale, bring your arms up, stretch, reach, and then exhale, side bend to the right. Bring your right hand down for support, maybe even onto that right elbow. Keep your left hip down, and your gaze can just be down to the ground. No tension in the neck. Roll the left shoulder back, lift the chest. Root that left hip down just a little more. See if you can't fold to the right a little more. Big breath. Big inhale. On your exhale, drop your left shoulder down, bring your chest towards that right knee, and reach your arms out in front of you. You can relax your head down. Try to keep the left hip rooted. Big inhale. On your exhale, walk your hands to the center of your mat. Maybe you'd like to play with whether or not you're on fingertips or palms down into the mat. Really reach the arms long. Make sure head is relaxed. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left side, our chest now facing the left knee. Keep the right hip grounded. Try to relax that right hip. Relax in the low back. Next inhale is going to take us into the side bend to the left. So we're going to roll the right shoulder back now. Stacking right shoulder on top of the left. Press the right hip down. Gaze can be down on the ground. Left hand or even whole forearm on the ground. And inhale, come back up. We're going to take opposite elbows or forearms behind you. And then lift the chest. Try to bring the lower rib cage down so we're not too much of a back bend, puffing the chest out and puffing the ribs out. We're going to bring chin down to chest. Sitting up really tall though. Roll the shoulders down and back. Roll your right ear over to your right shoulder. And you can bring your up as much as you'd like or keep it tucked slightly towards the chest, whatever feels best for you. Stretching the left side of the neck. We'll roll our chin back to our chest and then bring the left ear over to the left shoulder. Moving back and forth between sides now, feel free to pause and take some deep breaths on each side, or you can just continue to move back and forth slowly, whatever you'd prefer. Pausing anywhere that feels particularly stiff, pause and breathe into it. Making sure to even out both sides. And once you've done that, we'll meet with our chin tucked towards our chest. And then we'll release on an inhale, reaching up, looking up, stretching. And then exhale, let's come back into child's pose. Sit back on your heels, bring the knees out wide, reach the arms out long. Feel free to put a little rock into it if you'd like, or come up onto the fingertips. Maybe drop one shoulder down at a time. Really stretch the shoulders, stretch the upper back. Feel the stretch in the hips and the low back as well. Really lengthen the spine. Breathe deeply. One last breath here. And then we'll come up into a tabletop. Setting up for cat-cow. Stack the joints, fingers spread wide. Inhale, drop the belly, reach the tailbone up, pull the chest forward, look up. Exhale, push through your hands and knees, pull the belly in, arch the spine, tuck your chin, and look towards your belly. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more here with your own breath. Match the breath with the movement. Initiate from the belly button each time and have your gaze be the very last thing to move on your exhales and your inhales. Nice and slow. After those 3 rounds, just meet with a neutral spine. Then tuck your toes, press your hips up, coming back into downward dog. Once you're there, pedal out your heels, stretch the backs of the legs, press into the heel of the hands. Try to press that chest closer to the thighs. Inhale your right leg up high, and then exhale, step it forward, drop that back knee. Inhale up into a low crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through, drop that back knee, and then inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale, plant your hands back into downward dog. Drop your knees, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale back to neutral spine, and then exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step forward and set up. Inhale into the low crescent lunge. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward, set up. Inhale. Exhale, back to downward dog. Drop your knees, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, down dog. Shift forward to high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift everything. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step forward, setting up, low lunge. Inhale into it. Exhale, plant your hands back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward, drop the knee, inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale, lower. You can take this from your knees if you need to modify. Inhale, lift everything. Exhale, downward dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step forward. Low crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Reconnect with the breath if you've lost it. Come back into downward dog. We'll slowly walk our feet up to meet our hands. Keep your feet hip width apart. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach up, grab opposite elbows. You can take a modified Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Press down through the feet, strengthen the legs. Quads are engaged, so kneecaps slide up the leg. Pull back on the shoulders as much as you can on the arms. Take another inhale, lift the chest, pull the belly in, and then exhale. Braid the ribs back together, squeeze the belly, and bend to the right. Keeping yourself flattened out from the side so shoulders and hips are squared to the front of your mat, like you're pressed between two boards. Keeping the chin lifted slightly, so breathing isn't restricted. Inhale back up, and exhale over to the other side. Pull on that right elbow a bit. Bump that right hip out. You can typically go a little further in the side bend when the feet are separated. So see if you can't go a little further for this last breath. Inhale back up. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Take an inhale to lift your gaze, lift your chest, and then exhale, round back. Taking your back bend here, dropping your head back, keeping hips pressed forward, keeping legs very engaged. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold forward. Grab your big toes with your two-piece fingers. Taking an inhale with that grip, lengthen the spine, pull the belly in, and exhale, fold. It's fine to have a bend in the knees if you need it. Still lift through the hips, though. so you don't lose that stretch in the hamstrings. Head is hanging heavy, shoulders are away from the ears. Think about pinching the elbows in towards the legs to help slide the shoulders down the back. Inhale halfway. Plant your left hand on the mat. You can use your block here if you'd like. And we're going to take a twist. So left knee will bend and we'll reach our right arm up. Keep the belly engaged here. We're going to shift the weight over to our right foot. And you can start to bend in that right knee as you step your left leg back. Stay in your twist, but now we're in a high lunge. If you need to take this from a low lunge, you can drop the left knee. A couple more breaths. On that next exhale, plant your right hand on the mat. Step yourself back to downward dog. Slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands again, keeping the feet hip width apart. Plant your right hand now on your mat or your block. Bend into the right knee and reach the left arm up. Trying to keep the spine very long. Trying to take the rounding out of the spine. Bringing the left shoulder back, chest lifted, belly tight. Shifting into that twisted lunge. So weight will shift to the left foot and you'll start bending into that left knee as you step the right leg straight back. Keep the belly engaged. Back leg very strong. Next exhale, bring left hand to the mat. Step yourself back into downward dog. Inhale your right foot forward. Turn the back foot. Come up to warrior one. For this, we're going to grab opposite elbows or forearms behind. Lift the chest. You can lift the gaze if you're comfortable doing so. Sink the hips nice and low. One more breath here. And then take a clasp with your hands behind you. Pull down on the arms, trying to straighten them out. And then we'll come into humble warrior. Bend at the waist and bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Press into that back foot. Try to keep your hips squared behind you. Lift those arms up. Inhale yourself back up and into warrior one. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step yourself back to downward dog, or you could take a flow here if you'd like, lowering yourself down either all the way or to a hover. Inhaling up to cobra or upward dog, and then eventually exhaling to downward dog. Inhale your left foot forward now. Come up to that warrior one. Bring the arms back behind you. Grab opposite elbows or forearms. And try to switch the grip here, whichever arm you had touching your back on the other side. Try to switch arms here. Switch the cross of the arms. You can lift your gaze, lift your chest, take a little back bend with this. Take your clasp behind you, setting up for that shoulder rinse and humble warrior. Come down nice and low. Inhale, and then exhale. Come down into it. Left shoulder to the left knee. Press into that back foot. Back leg is very strong, engaged. Lift the arms away from the body. Then we'll inhale, come back up into our warrior one. And then exhale, step back to downward dog or take a flow here if you'd like. Inhale your left foot forward and come up to a high lunge. Exhale your right arm underneath the left for eagle arms, crossing elbows and wrists, palms touch, thumbs towards you. Even if palms aren't all the way touching, that's okay. Grab a hold of your thumb if you need to. We'll inhale, press off from that back foot, wrap the right leg up and over the left. Keep your upper body back, coming into eagle. Pull the elbows down, broaden the chest. Sink the hips a little lower. Step back into that lunge, keeping your arms in eagle arms. A couple breaths here. Next, inhale, uncross the arms, reach them up, and then exhale. Plant your hands, step back to downward dog or take a flow. Other side, right foot forward on the inhale, coming up to high lunge. Exhaling the left arm under for eagle arms. You can grab opposite shoulders too if you need to. And then press off from that back foot. Inhaling it up and over. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Lower the hips a little more. Step yourself back into that high lunge with eagle arms. Couple breaths here. Back leg very strong. Try to stack the heel over the toes. Next, inhale, uncross the arms, reach them up. Exhale, step back to downward dog or flow. Drop your knees then and come down into child's pose. Go ahead and come up to seat on your mat. We're going to do just a little bit of boat work, and then we'll come back into a nice supported bridge to end class. So find your balance on your sit bones. Hold behind your legs for support so you can keep your chest lifted, your spine straight, and start to lift the feet away from the mat. Stay here with support behind the legs if you need to. If you feel like you could bring your arms out and keep the spine straight, belly tight, chest lifted, no rounding in the lower back, then you can bring those arms out. Maybe you can lift the heels a little bit more. And then hug it in. We're going to come back into boat, keeping the knees bent here. You're going to tap the heels. And then come out, extend into a low boat, and then back in to tap. Back out and in. Try to use your muscles and not so much momentum to get yourself back up. If you need to use some momentum, that's okay, but focus on using more muscles, getting deeper into those core muscles, not just the abs, but our hip flexors, our quads. Let's do 2 more. And then go ahead and just lay down on your back, taking your block with you. We'll bend the knees, feet flat on the mat, press into the feet to lift the hips up, and slide your block underneath your pelvis for support. Typically, people have the block at that medium height. If that's too much, you can bring the block down to a flatter level. It was a short class, but we got the heart rate up. So maybe notice that as you come into this supported bridge. We're going to start bringing the heart rate back down now with the heart lower than the legs. Take some deep breaths. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee and allow that right leg to be heavy. Release that foot back down to the mat, and then we'll cross our left ankle over our right knee, allowing that left leg to be heavy. You want to release tension in your hips, in your pelvis, in your low back. Go ahead and bring that left foot down now. And extend your legs out in front of you. You can stop wherever you need to. Maybe you're able to extend them all the way. Maybe you'd like to bring the block down to a lower level here if you need to. We won't be here long. Just feel that nice stretch in the lower abs and the hip flexors. And we'll slowly bring our feet back to the mat, bending the knees. Take a couple of breaths here. You can press into your feet, lift your hips up, and remove that block out from under you. Hug your knees into your chest. If you'd like to make yourself into a little ball and tuck your chin, bring your head and shoulders off the mat, you can. You could also take one knee in each hand and draw some big circles with the knees, whatever feels best there for your low back after that slight back bend. Keep your knees tucked into your chest as much as you can as you bring your arms out to a T, and then let your knees fall to the right side of the mat. You can look to the left. Next inhale, bring your knees back, center, in towards the chest, and then drop your knees off to the left, looking right. Inhale your knees back in. Hug them in one more time, or take a happy baby if you'd like. And then Whenever you're ready, you can come down into Shavasana, extending your legs out long. Maybe lift your chest so you can slide the shoulder blades down the back. Let your palms face up towards the ceiling, fingers gently curled. Melt yourself down into your mat, relaxing your hips and your glutes, your jaw, your eyes, your ears, all the way down to your fingertips and toes. Enjoying the Shavasana for as long as you'd like, as long as time allows. Namaste.